All right, so get this. We're diving into this company, Moonshot AI.
Moonshot AI.
Yeah, so they're a Chinese company,
What?
and they're making some serious waves with their ideas about where AI is headed.
Interesting.
And our main source for this deep dive is actually an interview with the founder, Yang ZhiLin.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, so he's got this big picture vision for AI,
Okay.
and he's got the background to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
He studied under some of the biggest names in AI,
Oh, wow.
published some groundbreaking research.
Okay.
So this isn't just your average tech startup founder we're talking about here.
Definitely not.
One of the things that really caught my attention was this concept of an AI experimental platform.
AI experimental platform.
Yeah, so it's not just about building products, you know?
Yeah.
It's about pushing the boundaries of what AI can even do.
Right. Pushing the limits.
Exactly.
So almost like a research lab then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He sees his company as like a research lab, but
Okay.
one that's really intertwined with the real world. And he believes that this approach is going to lead to some really amazing scientific discoveries,
Mm-hmm.
but also commercially successful applications.
Okay. So he's thinking both.
Yeah, both down the line, you know?
Yeah.
So he's saying you don't have to choose between scientific advancement and making a real impact.
Right.
It can be both.
They can work together.
Exactly.
He seems like a long-term thinker then.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's not interested in those quick wins. He's thinking decades ahead.
Really?
Yeah, he even talks about changing the world in the next 10 or 20 years.
Wow. That's ambitious.
I know, it's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah.
Did he talk at all about how he sees the global AI landscape?
He did.
Because obviously companies like OpenAI are making huge strides.
Right. They are.
So I'm curious to know what he thinks.
Yeah. So what's interesting is he doesn't really see it as this nationalistic competition. You know,
Oh, okay.
he thinks that achieving AGI,
AGI.
yeah, artificial general intelligence, that's a global effort.
Okay, so it's not about China versus the US.
No, not at all. He actually thinks that there might even be companies more impactful than OpenAI,
Really?
yeah, emerging in the future. And to him, the ideal company would be one that combines that passion
Mm-hmm.
for pushing the limits of AI, but also has a product that's so good that users can actually shape how the AI evolves.
Oh, wow. So the users become part of the process.
Exactly. He calls it co-creation.
Oh, co-creation. I like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
So the users are almost like part of the research and development.
Yeah, you could say that. And he had some pretty interesting things to say about OpenAI, too.
Oh, really? Like what?
Specifically about their reputation back in like 2017, 2018.
Back then.
Yeah. Apparently, some people thought they were too radical or unrealistic. And they opted for more established companies like Google instead.
It's funny how much things have changed because now
No, right.
they're leading the charge.
It's come full circle.
So where does he see Moonshot AI fitting into all of this?
Right.
What's their unique focus?
Well, he's really laser focused on this thing he calls long context AI.
Long context AI.
Yeah. And essentially, it's about increasing the memory capacity of AI systems.
Okay.
So giving them a much deeper understanding of past information.
So almost like giving AI a sense of history.
Exactly, like a richer sense of history, so it can understand the present better and make decisions about the future.
That's fascinating. And how does he see that as a fundamental step towards AGI?
He thinks it fundamentally changes how AI interacts with the world.
Okay.
So instead of just responding to these isolated prompts,
Yeah.
a long context, AI can draw on this huge reservoir of information
Oh, wow.
to make connections and understand things that would be impossible otherwise.
Okay, so it's like giving them a deeper understanding of context of nuance.
Exactly, even how we communicate as humans.
It could change everything then.
It really could, like how we
Right.
search for information, how
Yeah.
we talk to virtual assistants.
He did mention personalization too, and
Yeah.
how important that is.
Yeah, he believes long context AI is really the key to making those truly individualized experiences.
So imagine an AI that remembers every interaction you've ever had with it,
Yeah.
learns your preferences, and adapts to your way of thinking.
It's pretty powerful stuff.
It is, and he even compared it to a whole new type of computer memory,
Yeah,
like building a new foundation for how AI works.
exactly. It's that foundational thinking that sets him apart.
And it really aligns with his long-term vision.
It does.
But I'm curious, how does this play out in the Chinese AI market?
Right.
Because the interview did mention that there was a bit of a shift in sentiment towards these large language models.
There was a pretty noticeable shift, I'd say, around 2023.
Okay.
There was still that initial excitement.
Yeah.
But a lot of companies in China became much more focused on finding those quick, commercially viable applications.
Okay, so like trying to capitalize on the hype as fast as possible.
Yeah, like a gold rush mentality, you could say.
But that seems to clash a little bit with Yang's approach
Yeah, it's a key tension for sure.
because he's thinking long term and they're thinking short term.
Exactly. He's focused on long context and AGI,
Yeah.
and they're focused on immediate commercial success.
It's like he's building a spaceship and they're trying to improve the bicycle.
That's a great analogy.
But there must be pressure to deliver results, though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even with that long-term vision.
So how does he navigate that?
Well, that's what we'll dig into next. And he actually has this really interesting concept he calls a spiral approach.
A spiral approach.
Yeah, it might surprise you.
It's a pretty fundamental tension in the field right now, right?
Yeah, definitely. And Yang's approach is definitely the road less traveled.
Right, because he's not just trying to like build a better chatbot or automate some task.
Well,
He's aiming for a completely different level of AI,
exactly.
which brings us back to long context.
Mm.
It sounds like it's more than just giving an AI a good memory.
It is.
So how does Yang actually see this as a fundamental step toward AGI?
Well, he believes that it changes how AI interacts with the world. Fundamentally so. Instead of just responding to isolated prompts,
Right.
it can draw on this vast reservoir of information
Oh, wow.
to make connections and understand nuance in a way that just wouldn't be possible otherwise.
So it's like giving the AI a deep understanding of history of context,
Yes.
even the subtle ways that humans communicate with each other.
Exactly. And think about how that could change everything.
Yeah.
From how we search for information to how we interact with virtual assistants.
And remember, he also talked about personalization,
Yes.
how it's so important.
And he believes that long context AI
Mm.
is really the key to those individualized experiences.
So imagine an AI that can remember every interaction you've had with it,
Yeah.
learn your preferences, adapt to your way of thinking.
That's the goal.
It's pretty mind-blowing. And he even said that long context is like a whole new type of computer memory,
Yeah.
like building a new foundation.
New foundation for how AI operates.
Exactly. And it's that kind of foundational thinking that really sets Yang apart.
Okay.
Because he's not just tweaking existing algorithms,
Right.
He's trying to create a whole new paradigm.
Which is pretty amazing.
It is, and it's not all theoretical. Moonshot AI actually has a product, right?
They do.
They launched an AI assistant called Kimi.
Kimi.
Yeah, and it supports something like 200,000 characters as input.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a pretty clear sign that they're serious about this long context approach.
Yeah, it is a bold move to launch directly to consumers with such a cutting-edge product.
I agree, because a lot of AI companies are focusing on those business-to-business applications.
Right, because that's where the money is.
Yeah, where the path to profitability is a little bit clearer.
Exactly.
So why do you think Yang chose to go the direct-to-consumer route?
Well, I think it goes back to that idea of co-creation
Oh, yeah.
that we talked about earlier.
Right.
He wants to get Kimi into the hands of as many people as possible
Okay.
to create this massive feedback loop.
So it can learn and evolve faster.
Exactly. It's almost like crowdsourcing AI development, but on a global scale.
It's a pretty exciting way to develop AI.
It is.
Yeah.
And it highlights another interesting aspect of his approach.
What's that?
He's not just building technology, he's building a community around it.
That's a really good point. And did he talk at all about the challenges
He did.
that they faced developing Kimi?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine building something this ambitious, you're going to run into some hurdles along the way.
Oh, absolutely. And he mentioned the volatile market for GPUs.
Right, those specialized processors that you need to train these large language models.
Exactly. And we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, those wild price fluctuations, the supply chain issues.
It's a nightmare.
It sounds like a logistical nightmare.
It is. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper and the price of steel changes every day.
That's basically what they're dealing with.
Basically. And he talked about having to be extremely adaptable,
Okay.
exploring different options, from buying GPUs outright to leasing them,
Mm-hmm.
even considering shifting some of their computing work to the cloud.
So they had to get really creative.
Yeah, super creative and resourceful just to overcome these obstacles.
Did he mention any other challenges?
He talked about how his thinking on team building evolved over time.
Okay.
So initially they were really focused on recruiting like the top minds,
Yeah, the geniuses.
the geniuses exactly, because you need some serious brain power
Of course.
to tackle these problems.
Yeah.
But he realized that building a truly successful company
Yeah.
in this space requires more than just raw intelligence.
Okay.
You need people who can not only innovate, but also execute,
Right.
manage projects, and adapt to this constantly changing landscape.
So it's about finding the right blend of skills.
Exactly, the right mix of people.
People who can think big, but also get things done.
Exactly. And what really impressed me was just his demeanor.
Yeah.
Throughout all of this, like despite all the pressure and uncertainty, he seems incredibly calm and focused on the big picture.
Yeah, it's like he has this unshakable belief in his vision.
He does.
And that gives him the strength to navigate all the ups and downs.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's that combination of ambition and resilience
Right.
and this deep belief in the power of AI
Yeah.
that makes his story so compelling.
It's pretty inspiring.
It is.
But it does raise the question,
Yeah.
what does Yang see as the next steps?
Right. Where does he think all of this is headed?
Where's the evolution of AI going?
Now we're getting to the good stuff. He outlined 2 major milestones
Okay.
that he thinks the field is going to reach in the next few years, and they're pretty mind-blowing.
Okay.
Well, he believes the first milestone is going to be the development of what he calls a unified world model.
Unified world model. Okay, what does that even mean?
So basically, it's an AI that can take in all sorts of different inputs,
Okay.
text, images, audio, video,
Yeah.
and it can understand them all as part of a single model of the world.
So instead of having all these separate AIs for different things,
Right.
it's all combined into like one mega AI brain.
Exactly. And imagine the possibilities there.
Yeah.
Like an AI that can not only read a news article, but also watch a related video.
Right.
Analyze the audio for tone of voice, and then combine all that information
That would be incredible.
to really understand what's going on.
It would take AI way beyond just understanding individual pieces of information. It
Yeah.
would be able to like see the bigger picture, connect the dots.
Exactly. It would be much closer to how humans think.
And that brings us to the second milestone,
Right.
which is even more mind-bending.
Yeah. This one's a bit out there.
Okay.
Yang believes that AI will eventually reach a point where it can just keep evolving
Okay.
and improving without any human intervention.
Hold on. You're saying an AI that can learn by itself?
Yeah.
Like without humans programming it or feeding it data?
Exactly. That's what he's saying.
Isn't that getting into some serious science fiction territory?
It might sound like that,
Yeah.
but he sees it as the logical endpoint of something called scaling laws.
Scaling laws. Okay.
So the idea is that as these AI models get bigger and more complex, their ability to learn just grows exponentially. And he thinks that at some point, they're going to become sophisticated enough to basically bootstrap their own learning.
So what happens when the student surpasses the teacher?
It's a question that a lot of people are asking, and it does make you think.
Yeah.
But Yang's perspective is really rooted in this belief in the potential of AI to help humanity.
Okay.
He's not talking about some kind of AI takeover,
Right.
but a future where AI and humans can work together and kind of co-evolve.
That makes sense. And we did talk about Moonshot AI's product, Kimi.
Right, Kimi, their AI assistant.
Did he say anything about where they see that going in the future?
He did. He emphasized their commitment to making Kimi the best it can be.
Okay.
But it's not just about replicating existing functionality or being slightly better than what's out there.
Yeah.
He wants to create something truly new.
All right, something groundbreaking.
Exactly. It's something that takes full advantage of AI's capabilities to offer a different kind of experience.
Yeah, I remember he said if it's only 10, 20% better, it's not worthy of the term AGI.
Exactly. He's setting a high bar.
He's not settling for small improvements.
No, he wants to redefine how we interact with information and technology.
It's like he's saying, let's stop trying to make AI fit into our existing ways of doing things and let's see what new possibilities it can open up.
That's a great way to put it. And he's doing it all with this incredible sense of calm and focus,
Right.
even with all the pressure and uncertainty.
It's pretty inspiring.
It is. He has this unshakable belief in his vision.
And he surrounded himself with a team that seems to share that passion.
Absolutely. They're all in on this mission.
It's a good reminder that innovation isn't just about brilliant ideas.
It's not enough
It takes dedication, resilience, and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
to really push the boundaries.
This has been an amazing deep dive.
It has.
We've covered so much ground during Yang's vision for the future, the technical details of long context AI.
It's been fascinating.
What stood out most to you?
You know, for me, it's his commitment to pushing those boundaries, but also being aware of the risks and the ethical implications of AI. He's not just chasing technological advancement for its own sake. He's trying to shape a future where AI benefits everyone.
And that's not just up to him and his company.
No.
We all have a role to play in shaping this future.
We do.
And Yang's story is really a call to action for all of us.
Yeah.
To think critically about the possibilities and the challenges of AI.
And to contribute to a future where AI is a force for good.
Exactly, because Yang ZhiLin and Moonshot AI, they're just one part of this much larger story.
It's still being written.
And the future of AI is in our hands.
It really is.
So to all of you listening out there, what are your hopes and concerns about AI?
Yeah.
What role do you want to play in shaping this incredible technology?
Think about it.
Keep those questions in mind because the conversation is just getting started.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.